A new journey. I told y'all it was something new. I told y'all it was something new. Show me the car. Show me the car. Show me the car. Show me the car. Hey, yo, who the fuck is this? Hey, what's going on, guys? You're watching the Modding Corner, and last night was the Dragon Ball genkidamatsuri, and with it we finally got the announcement of the Moro arc and Battle of Gods again. But the main thing I want to focus on today is the major game announcement. This is not Xenoverse 3. Hold on for a second, put your pitchforks down. As a matter of fact, this may be better than Xenoverse 3. This is Project Age 1000, a game in which we don't know what the story, gameplay, or even name will be. Just this twink of a Saiyan and some robots. However, I think the game's title kinda says the whole story. You see, Age is what the equivalent to years are in Dragon Ball, as the main series takes place between ages 749 and 784, covering from the Pilaf Saga all the way to the end of Z. Now, the Xenoverse series takes place from ages 850 to 852, meaning that Age 1000 likely isn't the direct follow-up in a traditional sense, but definitely does take place after the events of Xenoverse 2. So in that case, you're probably wondering, wow, this is 150 years after the Xenoverse series, we've never been that far ahead in the timeline before, right? Well, actually we have. Way back in Okay, I did this bit the other day, moving on. Now, if you're not familiar with the events of Dragon Ball Online, this is basically where Xenoverse got a lot of its core story elements from. The Time Patrol, the Supreme Kai of Time, Xeno Trunks, Mira and Toa, hell, even Baby Few. This is the only Dragon Ball media that we know of that takes place in Age 1000, which means this game is less likely to be a Xenoverse 3, but more of a Dragon Ball Online 2. However, I do think it's still a little early to say if this is or isn't definitely Xenoverse 3, just because we still don't know who's developing it or what its gameplay will revolve around. However, we do know a lot about this specific time period thanks to Dragon Ball Online, so let's comb through some of the teaser and see what we can find. Now, the first thing we got is a photo of this new guy. Let's see, we got Ace, Fan, Charlotte, you know what, I'm just calling him Terry. Terry here has an interesting character design as he is fitted out head to toe with the latest Capsule Corp apparel. But what I'm most interested in is this symbol, GS. Now this could mean anything, but what I think it could be based off his color palette is Great Saiyaman, which would make sense to me because outside of the cape and helmet, he has a very similar color palette. He also has the number 7 on his outfit, and counting all the Great Saiyaman we've seen throughout the series at this point, we've seen the original Saiyaman, Vidal's Great Saiyaman 2, Saiyaman 3 and 4 from Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission, and if you want to count the manga, Saiyaman X1 and X2. The 7 also could be referencing different members of this potential Great Saiyaman squad, as they did say that Toriyama worked on a lot of new designs for this game. Now, some actual evidence that could lead to this being a Xenoverse 3 lies in how this guy fights, as his moveset clearly has some inspiration from characters like Vegeta and Teen Gohan. He also has this move here, which is clearly a sledgehammer, as you can see the particles charge up. He then transitions into the spinning kick Gogeta does from DBS Broly. Now, before we go into the next scene, Terry sees what appears to be Goku, and listen, I know about all of Goku's outfits, and we've never seen him wear this specific type of shoe before, and as a Dragon Ball feet finder, I know these things. Going by my calculations, according to the shape of those lemon pepper steppers and the silhouette in the background, I have no other assumption that is Devilman. Let's see. Yep, that's Devilman. That's Devilman. Look at the lemon pepper steppers. Afterwards, we see a whole lineup of main series characters, with them taking on their appearances from around the superhero era, with the exception of 2 people. Future Trunks, who is rocking his iconic Z design, and the main man himself, Goku, who is rocking a design we've never seen before. Now, this design looks like a kind of what-if design Toriyama did way back, but his outfit has more of a Goku Black vibe to it. And y'all can keep him in the dark as much as you want. I know Goku has never worn a gi with a neck that high. Now, this can either be a Goku variant of some kind of like Toriyama's version of Xeno Goku, or even a Sun family descendant. The next scene, we see our boy Terry fully become a Super Saiyan before we get the project name and reveal. However, another thing we should focus on is what happens after the teaser, as according to Ioku, he specifically asked Toriyama to make that design for this game, as well as other things in the game like world building. And in case you all didn't know, the last time Toriyama contributed to a game outside of its main character design was Dragon Ball Online, which we established earlier to take place in Age what? There we go. Now, if you didn't say age 1000 out loud, I look like a dumbass right now. So I think it's safe to say that we're getting ready to finally tackle this era of the series, as they've been preparing this project for a long time, specifically 6 to 7 years. Also, on the official Dragon Ball game site, they mentioned that more unique and delightful characters are coming, which further adds to why I think it's related to online, since we got a slew of new character designs by Toriyama from that game. Now, I'm already hyped for this game just based off the era, but what do you think? Will this turn into a Xenoverse 3 or something completely different? Let me know in the comments. Also, it literally isn't Xenoverse 3. First thing in the trailer that it says it's a new journey. Catch me back in April if it is, and I'll do a feat reveal.